So far, 86 Myanmar nationals arrested in Manipur. Home Secretary directs DGP to open foreigner detention center to house illegal immigrants. Anti-smuggling unit arrests 2 individuals for peddling huge cache of contraband drugs worth around 2,69 lakh and 46,000 rupees in international market. Budget session of Parliament begins. Corruption is the biggest enemy of democracy and social justice, says President Draupadi Murmu. More than 700 NPP supporters joined BJP ahead of assembly polls in Meghalaya. BJP leaders give warm welcome. And Manipur Governor Laganation visits Assam Rifles Company operating base of Indo-Myanmar border, motivates troops deployed in remote locations. Hello, you are watching IS Primetime English News. Before we begin, IS News would like to remind our viewers to practice physical distancing, hand hygiene, wear masks, protect yourself and get vaccinated to ward off COVID-19. I'm Jay Xiaoinam giving you the news in detail. Few days after Manipur police arrested 81 Myanmar nationals, including 10 minors, for illegally entering India, a combined team of Moreh Police Station personnel, Moreh Commando, Special Commando and 5th IRB arrested 4 more Myanmar nationals from Indo-Myanmar border town Moreh during operation. The team carried out the operation from 4:30 a.m. till 7 a.m. yesterday. The 4 Myanmar nationals were arrested at Nepali Basti, T Mino village and J Munomjang village. With this, the total number of illegal Myanmar nationals arrested in the state has increased to 86. Meanwhile, the arrested Myanmar nationals were brought to Imphal and sent to judicial custody after being produced before the court of Chief Judicial Magistrate Technopol today. Mention may be made that Technopol District Police rounded up 81 Myanmar immigrants who were illegally settling in Langcham and T Mota villages under Moreh subdivision along the Indo-Myanmar border on January 27. They were later sent to judicial custody in Imphal. While on January 29, a Rohingya Myanmarese refugee was arrested along the Manipur sector of Indo-Myanmar border with a fake Aadhaar card. In order to house the illegal immigrants, the Home Secretary directed the DGP Manipur to open and activate a foreigner detention center at the newly constructed unused building inside Sajiwa prison complex. According to lists of the arrested foreigners provided by the police, all the Myanmar residents are from Tamil district of the neighboring country. Since the military coup in Myanmar last year, over 30,000 Myanmar nationals have entered Mizoram, where the state government has provided them shelter, food and identity card on humanitarian grounds. Meanwhile, officers of Anti-Smuggling Unit Custom Division Imphal arrested 2 individuals for peddling a huge cache of contraband drugs worth around 2,69 lakh and 46,000 rupees in the international market. The arrested have been identified as Bahar Uddin Kaji, aged 36 years, son of Sofik Uddin Kaji of Baladhan Grant under Kasar in Assam, and Pantinthan Pamay, aged 24 years, son of Maisitwi Pamay of Lukhambi in Nodi district. Acting on a tip-off, the team carried out frisking and checking near Kaitalmanbi in Imphal West district around 3:40 p.m. yesterday, when the team arrested the duo along with 26,800 tablets of amphetamine tablets and 760 grams of raw opium. A case has been registered under NDPS Act 1985 against a duo, and investigations are underway to nab other culprits in the drug peddling. The budget session of Parliament commenced with an address by President Draupadi Murmu to joint sitting of two houses of Parliament. Addressing the joint sitting of both the houses of Parliament at Central Hall, President Draupadi Murmu asserted that India has a stable, fearless and decisive government which is working towards realizing the big dreams. She said surgical strike, firm crackdown on terrorism, befitting response to every misadventure from LOC and LAC, abrogation of Article 370 and Triple Talaq is the example of decisive government. She stressed on the need to build a nation by 2047 which not only embraces its glorious past but also encompasses every golden aspect of modernity, self-reliant, and a nation which is able to fulfill its humanitarian obligations. Talking about India's G20 presidency, the President said, with the mantra of one earth, one family, one future, the country is attempting to find collective solutions to the current global challenges in collaboration with the G20 member countries. Asserting that corruption is the biggest enemy of democracy and social justice, the President said there has been a relentless fight against corruption in the last few years, adding that the government has ensured that the honest will be honored in the system. On women empowerment, the President said all the welfare schemes launched by the government have a women-centric approach and provided them new opportunities for employment. She lauded the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao campaign, Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan and Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandan Yojana. She also talked about COVID vaccination, saying that India has administered more than 220 crore vaccine doses within just 2 years. After the President address, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Economic Survey 2022-23, which has projected a baseline GDP growth of 6.5% in real terms in the next financial year. The survey was presented in both houses of Parliament ahead of the Union budget to be presented tomorrow. The first part of budget session of the Parliament will go on till February 10. The Parliament will reconvene on March 12 and go on till April 6. Over 700 supporters of the National People's Party (NPP) from Ranikor joined the Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) on Monday, January 30, and NPP candidate Martin M. Dango, a former five-time legislator from Ranikor, stated that he is awaiting a decision from his leadership regarding whether or not to join the Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP). At the party's office in Vivar Road, Shillong, BJP leaders gave the 100 NPP members a warm welcome. Dango told reporters that he was told that his supporters and leaders had met at the Shillong club and decided to leave the NPP and join the BJP. He stated that it would be premature for him to decide whether or not to join the BJP because he has not received an official message from his supporters and leaders. Governor of Manipur, Laganation, today visited Assam Rifles Company operating base on Indo-Myanmar border at Bihang village in Churachandpur district today. During the visit, the governor was briefed by Colonel Rajnesh Gairola, commandant of Khuga Battalion, on the prevailing security situation and operational dynamics in the border areas. He was also apprised of the social welfare-based activities and initiatives undertaken by Assam Rifles to ensure progressive development of the border areas. The Assam Rifles assured to continue the efforts. The governor also interacted with the troops of Assam Rifles and appreciated their efforts in keeping the area safe and secure. He also motivated the troops deployed in the remote locations and extended his blessings to them. An earthquake measuring 4.5 magnitude on the Richter scale jolted Kamjong district this morning. According to the National Center for Seismology, the earthquake epicenter was at Kamjong and a depth of 67 kilometers. The tremors were felt at 24.70 latitudes and 94.27 longitudes. Meanwhile, there are no reports of loss of life and property till the time of filing this report. A team of Bishnupur commando arrested an overground worker of the proscribed Socialist Revolutionary Party, Sorepa, a faction of KYKL police said. The arrested has been identified as Ningombam Rabi Chandra, aged 23 years, son of N. Pakpi of Moidangpo Kuno Mayai Laikai in Imphal West District. According to police, acting on the tip-off, the Bishnupur commando team, led by Subedar Robinson under the overall supervision of additional SP operations, Bishnupur and SP Bishnupur conducted counter-insurgency operation in and around Nambol Goripaba Mamang area around 10:30 a.m. today, during which Rabichandra was arrested. Upon interrogation, Rabichandra disclosed that he is an overground worker of Sorepa. The arrested has been handed over to Nambol police station for further necessary legal actions. Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee Manipur STDCM today organized a protest at Yaingang Pokpi Kaithel to push for its demand. Yaingang Pokpi Village Committee, Yaingang Pokpi Mairapaibi and Yaingang Pokpi Bazaar Board carried out the protest under the banner of STDCM. They shouted slogans demanding inclusion of Meitei Meitei in the ST list. Meanwhile, taking its demand forward, Meitei Pangal Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee today submitted memorandums to Lilong MLA Abdul Nasir and Wangoi MLA Loken. MPSDDC has demanded inclusion of Meitei Pangal community in the Scheduled Tribe list of the Indian Constitution. The memorandum submitted to the two MLAs demands the state government to send mandatory recommendation to the Center for inclusion of the Pangal community in the ST list at the earliest. The MLAs assured the committee to look into the demand and extend assistance to fulfill it. All Manipur Health Services Doctors Association AMHSDA has threatened to indefinite shutdown of all the hospitals across the 16 districts in the state if the authorities concerned fail to concede to the demands at the earliest. AMHSDA General Secretary Loli P. Mao said this during a press meet at Manipur Press Club today. He said that the association has been carrying out various forms of agitations for ignoring their demands. He mentioned that the demands made by the association include time-bound scale promotion, extension of superannuation age of specialists and non-specialist doctors to 65 years as administrative posts as per the declaration of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, inclusion of non-practicing allowance NPA in the basic pay with effect from January 1st of 2016 as per the 7th Central Pay Commission, and measure amendment of the outdated MHS Rules 1982. He expressed discontentment over the failure of the state government to fulfill their demands despite repeated pleas till date. He mentioned that several memorandums have also been submitted to the government regarding the same, but to no avail. He reiterated his warning that the association will take up a series of agitations such as closure of OPDs, black beach protests, sit-in, rally hunger strike if the government fails to meet the demands at the earliest.
Podi MCS, MPS, nahan makuigi promotion kabasi 5 years dale. From 5 years in the year 2022, July thada makuigi si hoji 4 years oikre. Akuigi di hoji 15 years promotion pangdaba Doctor Yam le more than 700 hoji pangdabasi. Akui medical gidi director ani khakta hoji le ani leiba maramuina promotion kaba matamda vacancy leitrebdi haiba question amasuk thoe. But hoji akui na demand tawbasi. Vacancy labra, laitebra, I could promotion piba hebsi. Laitragasu, time scale promotion to pure hebni. I could see Hojik meeting loy no motivation chakre. All the 16 districts is chakre. Chalaga, I could get Dr. Singh opinion lova matamda. Sidi, Sarkar na Sumina, Kana Gumu with the Michang mi kai tauragadi. Some people are treated as privileged, Adugai budi as non-privileged. Natagana superior, Aduga I inferior. Sina Sumina Maquina Laura budi, I could strike tause. In what way? I wish you total shutdown tawni.
Saitu MLA How Colette Gibson emphasized the significance of age-old tradition and culture and urged for preserving and uphold it for the future generations. He said the same during the Golden Jubilee celebration of Ramgailong Youth Club at Langol, Laimanai in Kangpokpi district today. The event was held on the theme Change for the Brighter Future. MLA How Colette Gibson said that the tradition and culture inherited from the past generations will remain as heritage forever. He asserted that the theme Change for the Brighter Future aims to preserve and promote the ancient tradition, monuments, objects and culture of the village as well as to bring developmental changes. Mentioning the ongoing forest issues in the village, he advised the people not to be apprehensive of the situation. He further went on to say that Ramgailong village has been inhabiting the area for over 70 years and added that it is quite impossible to evict the village easily. He further assured to take necessary action to resolve the matter at the earliest. Noting that there are several villages in Kangpokpi district, MLA How Colette Gibson urged the people to refrain from forming new villages with just 10-15 households residing in the area. He appealed to the people to strive for uniting the small villages together. The MLA further gave assurance to hold talks with the PHED department, officials and village authorities to ease the problem of drinking water scarcity in the village. Taking part in the event, Kangpokpi District DC, Kengu Juringla called on the village youth not to hide their inborn talents but harness them for wealth creation and to bring sustainable development. He further appealed to the people not to have animosity or hold grudges, adding that it will only hinder peace, progress and prosperity in the state. He urged them to unite and stand together to achieve greater heights. Chief of Ramgailong village, D. Mathiru, village leader Katubung Kamai and many villagers took part in the event. Home Films Manipur celebrated its 16th Foundation Day today. The program was held at Arong Khunjau Mayai Lekai. Renowned playwrights Ranjit Ningthauja and Moirangthem Inau, President of Home Films Manipur Dr. S. Susila, advisors Rajmani and Ayekpam Ratneshwari Goswami were present at the occasion. The efforts and contribution of Home Films Manipur in promoting the Manipur film industry were lauded. Addressing the gathering, Director of Home Films Manipur highlighted the activities of Home Films Manipur and added that the group has produced many renowned Manipuri films actors and several popular Manipuri films. He said that efforts are on to release new Manipuri films this year by Home Films Manipur. Some of the popular Manipuri films produced by Home Films Manipur are Thauri, Waiku, Suke Keda Ningthijabi, Boiton Mangkre, Inama, tharoi ahambagi mahau, awaiba mapu, etc. Now it's time for a short commercial break. We will be back with latest news and updates. Keep watching IS News.
Go Aviator Academy, a complete platform for aviation aspirants, inspired by experienced professionals. Come and join with us, a course designed for cabin crew and ground staff to help turn your dreams into reality.
Welcome back. You're watching IS Primetime English News. No fresh COVID-19 cases were reported in Manipur in the past 24 hours. As per the latest updates from the Manipur COVID-19 Command Control Room, a total of 109 samples were tested in the same hours, which confirmed negative. The state's coronavirus caseload stands at 1,39,922, while the death toll stands at 2,149. India saw a single-day rise of 66 coronavirus infections and active cases decline to 1,755 on Tuesday, 3 years after the first case was reported in Kerala, and consequent waves of the pandemic left people scrambling for hospital beds and literally gasping for breath. Till now, the coronavirus disease has claimed 5,30,740 lives and infected 4.46 crore people, according to Union Health Ministry. The waves in 2020 and 2021, particularly those fueled by the Delta and the Omicron variants, wreak havoc on the health system and people's livelihoods and affected businesses. Dr. Suranjit Chatterjee, a senior consultant at Apollo Hospital in Delhi and a COVID survivor, said that the situation has become much better now compared to the bad phase the country saw in 2020 and the nightmare in 2021. On Tuesday, the ministry said the Delhi positivity rate has been recorded at 0.05%, while the weekly positivity stands at 0.07%. The active cases now comprise 0.01% of the total infections, while the national recovery rate has increased to 98.81%, according to the Health Ministry website. Filing of nominations for assembly elections in Meghalaya and Nagaland began today with the issuance of notification. The process of filing nomination for the 60-member each assemblies will go on till February 7, the last date for nominations. As per the Election Commission, February 8 would be the date of scrutiny of nominations and February 10, the last date for withdrawal of candidatures for both states. The two states would go to the polls on February 27 and votes would be counted on March 2nd. For Nagaland, altogether, 13,17,632 electors are eligible to exercise their democratic right in the ensuing election. A total of 24,689 new voters were included in the final electoral rolls, while for Meghalaya, altogether 21,61,129 electors are eligible to exercise their franchise in the assembly elections. A total of 81,433 new voters were included in the final electoral rolls. The death toll from a suspected suicide bomb that ripped through a mosque in northwestern Pakistan yesterday has risen to at least 92, marking one of the deadliest attacks in the country in years as it faces what one analyst described as a national security crisis. The attack on the mosque took place at the start of a key week for Pakistani diplomacy. At least 170 people were injured in the blast. The bodies of the dead have started to be returned to their families. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and other leaders have condemned the attack, one of the worst in the country in recent years. The Prime Minister traveled to Peshawar on an emergency visit and promised to take stern action against those behind the attack. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called the latest bombing particularly abhorrent for targeting a place of worship. Rights groups have also condemned the deadly attack, which has raised fear of fresh violence amid a deteriorating security situation in the country. Meanwhile, hope was fading in the search for survivors as rescue workers shifted to the rubble of the mosque that was all but destroyed when worshippers, mainly law enforcement officials, had gathered for evening prayers. The Pakistani Taliban has denied involvement after an initial claim by one of its commanders. The Weather Department has forecast isolated rains accompanied with winter thunderstorms in the northeast states of Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, and sub-Himalayan West Bengal on Tuesday and Wednesday. Dense fog in isolated pockets is also expected over Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, and Tripura during the same time period. As for the mercury levels, maximum temperatures are expected to rise to above average levels over northeast India during the next 5 days. Meanwhile, available IMD data indicates that dry weather prevailed over Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, and Tripura during last 24 hours. The night temperatures had no large change over Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, and Tripura during the last 24 hours. Those were appreciably above normal over Arunachal Pradesh, above normal over Assam, Meghalaya and Manipur, and normal over Tripura during the last 24 hours. Met Department stated, light rain is very likely to occur in isolated places over Arunachal Pradesh, and the weather is likely to remain dry over Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, and Tripura over the next 5 days. Air quality is likely to be very poor in northeast India over the next 2 days. Now we have the sports news. Classic Football Academy has bagged the champion title of the Hero Under-17 Youth Cup Manipur. Classic Football Academy defeated Sudeva Delhi FC 2-0 to clinch the winner title. In the match played at Deccan Arena football turf today, Classic Football Academy players Kulakpam Jahir Khan and Gogocha Jinkham netted the winning goals at 14 and 27th minutes respectively. Hyderabad hosted the tournament under the aegis of All India Football Federation since January 23rd. Sunrise Club Kadamtala thrashed Young Singlung Club 7-0 in a match of the ongoing 18 district level 2nd Division Football League. The tournament is organized by Old Jiribam Sport Association at Jiribam Higher Secondary School. Altogether, 5 teams are competing in the tournament, which kicked off yesterday. Lionel Messi has expressed regret over his behavior during and after Argentina's quarter-final win against the Netherlands at the World Cup in Qatar. Messi and his teammates were criticized for their actions after the win on penalties following their 2-2 draw on December 9. The Paris Saint-Germain star celebrated his 73rd minute penalty goal by running in front of Netherlands coach Louis van Gaal and cupping his hands to his ears. Messi claimed after the game that Van Gaal disrespected Argentina in his pre-game comments. The Argentina captain was seen arguing with Van Gaal and his assistant Edgar Davies at full time. Messi also reportedly shouted at Netherlands goal scorer Wout Weghorst during a post-game interview. Messi meanwhile said he did not like what he did or what happened after, adding that there are moments of nervousness and everything happens very quickly. He further said despite the long wait to lift the World Cup, he wouldn't have it any other way. Argentina beat France on penalties to win their first World Cup in 36 years in Qatar in what was Messi's fifth World Cup. Before we end, let's take a look at the headlines once again. So far, 86 Myanmar nationals arrested in Manipur. Home Secretary directs DGP to open foreigner detention center to house illegal immigrants. Anti-smuggling unit arrests 2 individuals for peddling huge cache of contraband drugs worth around 2,69 lakh and 46,000 rupees in international market. Budget session of Parliament begins. Corruption is the biggest enemy of democracy and social justice, says President Draupadi Murmu. More than 700 NPP supporters joined BJP ahead of assembly polls in Meghalaya. BJP leaders give warm welcome. And Manipur Governor Laganation visits Assam Rifle Company operating base on Indo-Myanmar border, motivates troops deployed in remote locations. That's all we have in this bulletin. Coming up next, we have IS Primetime Manipur News at 9 p.m. Till then, good night.